Hello geometry students, and welcome to the lesson on angles. And today we are going to cover both sections 1.4 and 1.5 if you are in Mr. Wen's classroom. And the purpose of these first couple videos is just to work out some vocabulary. Okay? So an angle consists of two different rays with the same endpoint. The rays are the sides of the angle. The endpoint is the vertex of the angle. So a lot of this is just vocabulary that it seems very technical, but in mathematics we have to be more precise. So here I have two rays. I have ray AB, that's this one right here that points up, and then ray AC that goes from here to here. And you can see that these are two rays with the same common endpoint A. So we can call this angle ABC. We could also use this symbol, this little slanted little L, ABC. Now note that, BAC. See, I made a mistake already. So the reason that this has to be so is that the vertex always has to be the middle of the three letters. So you're always going from B to A to C. You could also say CAB going in the same direction, CAB. Right? And occasionally we could also just use the vertex as the name, angle A. Now we'll go back to this case a little bit later when there's multiple different angles. Okay? And in this case, point A is the vertex. Okay. So hopefully that doesn't trip you up too much, just some basic vocabulary. And we're just going to run through the list here and make sure all of these terms are well and correctly defined. So next, an acute angle has measure greater than 0 degrees and less than 90 degrees. So acute angles are usually something like this. So let's just call this W, and you'll sometimes see an angle measure maybe 50 degrees in here. So we could say that angle W is acute. Okay. And it's got to be greater than 0 degrees. So if an angle is 0 degrees, it's just a ray. Okay, so it's not acute if it's 0 degrees. Okay. A right angle has a measure equal to 90 degrees. So you most likely see right angles drawn this way. They might actually say 90 degrees, or most likely they'll have this little square symbol here. Okay. So angle B and angle D are both right angles. Okay, so they have to be exactly 90 degrees, and 90-degree angles are very special. They hold a special place in geometry because of some really useful properties. Let's keep going here. An obtuse angle has measure greater than 90 but less than 180. So here would be an example. So let's say you have this angle here, let's say F. Okay. And let's put some other letters on here. So this angle clearly is greater than 90 degrees, but it's still less than 180. So we can say that angle CFB is obtuse. Another way that we could name this angle is just call it angle F is obtuse. A straight angle has measure equal to 180. So if it is equal to 180, then it's just a line. Okay. So angle R is a straight angle. Okay. And this is the same as a line. And finally, well, not finally, but next, two angles are congruent angles if they have the same measure. So let's say I have this angle here, and let's say I have another angle that sort of looks like it, and I'm just making this up, so it might not be drawn perfectly, but I'm doing this so I could illustrate a concept for you. So let's say this is A and this is B, and this is, so let's call this 100 degrees, and this also happens to be 100 degrees. Then we can say angle A is congruent, and this is the congruent symbol, the little tilde symbol with an equal sign, to angle B. Okay. We could also say the measure of angle A, and that's what this notation means. A small m, the angle measure, the angle symbol, and then the name of the angle, is equal to the measure of angle B, which in this case happens to be 100 degrees. Okay. So this first part here is, this symbol here is used to indicate congruence, and this equal sign here is used to indicate equality. And equality is typically used when you have numbers. Okay. This congruent symbol here usually means that they're the same shape and the same size, but sometimes we know the actual numerical value and sometimes we don't. You will also see tick marks that are often used, so sometimes people will put tick marks on the angles that will indicate that they are congruent. The next term we have here is angle bisector, is a ray that divides an angle into two angles that are congruent. So let's say if I have an angle like this, and let's call this A, D, C, and then I have a ray that cuts this angle perfectly in half. Okay. Then in this case we could, and then we'll indicate congruence using those tick marks and that symbol. So here we can say that ray DF is a bisector of angle ADC. Now one thing we cannot say is DF is a bisector of angle D. Okay, this right here is actually problematic, and it's mostly problematic because of this part. When we write just the letter D here, it's ambiguous. We don't know if it's talking about ADF or ADC or FDC. So remember up here I said that we could name this angle using 3 letters or just 1 letter. This is true because there's only one angle that you could possibly be referring to when you say angle A. A is the vertex of one angle only. Down here, D is the vertex of 3 different angles, ADF, FDC, and ADC. So if we want to be clear and specific, we have to use 3 different letters in this case. Okay. Well, I'm going to end this video here and start another one when I talk about different pairs of angles. Thank you for watching. Be sure to watch the next video and have a wonderful day.